Welcome to Seven Words Academy. Today we will discuss about what is called a page cache and page speed thing. Page caching and page speed is very important for advanced level of SEO. Now most of the cases we use dynamic website that is called content management system website like WordPress, Magento, Drupal, where you can get a backend and you also have a database. Now from backend, by just dragging and dropping, you can build a website and automatically all the posts, all the pages, images, that would be stored in your database. Now you don't have to bother about this database and the coding part, only you have to drag and drop things from the content management system. Now this type of sites are called dynamic website, and there is another type of sites that is called static website or HTML website that you can build with Dreamweaver or any other HTML editor. Now for static HTML sites, for changing any content, any image, you have to hard code it. Again, you have to go back to that page in Dreamweaver, you have to edit it. So it is a tedious job. So we are talking about dynamic website. Now the disadvantage part of dynamic website is that it would take some loading time. So what happens actually, for example, if we open sevenboards.com here in our browser, whenever we are typing sevenboards.com, now it would ping to our web hosting server, and the server will automatically generate the dynamic page in real time in front of the user. Now suppose in a situation where 10,000 visitors, they are simultaneously at a time they are opening this page, so what would happen, the server would fetch every time to the database and dynamically generate this page in front of 10,000 users at a same time at one go. So automatically it would give much load to the server, and you might see some kind of slow page loading time whenever you are trying to open the page. Now this is bad for user experience, and obviously it is bad for ranking. Now think about in that way, if we prefetch this page, if we generate this page as a static HTML beforehand, and if we show this in front of our users, so automatically the load time would be decreased. Now consider one situation where in a bench you are waiting for the food and one people is serving from one corner of the bench. So the first person sitting in the first corner of this bench will get the food first, and the last man sitting at the last corner of this bench would get the food at the last time. So it would delay the process. Now what happen if there are 3 persons, 4 persons, they would serve the food, so automatically the first person sitting in the left corner would get the food, as well as simultaneously in the right hand corner most person, he would also get the food at the same time. So this happens with, we say, page caching system along with content delivery network or CDN. Now CDN helps you to store the images and JavaScript files to another server, and from your server certain HTML, certain text content would be generated. Simultaneously from other servers, your images, your JavaScript files would be fetched. So the load for on a particular specific server would be decreased and the process would be faster. Now if we see this image, you can easily understand how these things work. So this is your originating server, and you are putting your images, your JavaScript files, other files on different other servers on cloud. So this is called content delivery network, and whenever the end users, the visitors, they are typing your website's name in the browser, they are seeing it from the CDN part. So this is the prefetched static pages are stored here, so you can see this from here. So the load on the originating server is reduced, and the loading time, the page loading time, would be faster then. So if we check this image as well, you can see without the cached content, the originating server, it would take 220 milliseconds, whereas with the cached content it would take 30 milliseconds. So in that way you can increase your page speed. Now if we go with the WordPress website, there are certain plugins that we can install and we can activate the page caching. So if we check here, so W3TC, WP Supercache, Hypercache and WP Rocket, these are the 4 plugins that you can install in your WordPress. Along with the content delivery network is Max CDN, Amazon AWS or Cloudflare, that you can install. So these are the paid things. So let us take example with WP Supercache. As per my recommendation, we would go with one or two, and the CDN part is Max CDN is quite cost effective. So you can go with WP Supercache and Max CDN combination. So let us take an example. We go to this page. From the plugin section, you go to add new, you search with WP Supercache and install and activate it. After activating, you go to the settings part of caching plugin. Now you see here, we go with the advanced part first. We enable this, we click on this mod redirect to serve the cached files. So there are three options. We don't go to the technical nitty-gritty here, just look at the settings part. So we select this. Now we compress the pages. Now we check these things here. The recommended part, we obviously put the check mark here. Now you see here, so this recommended part, all this recommended part, you would just check it. Now we go with this CDN part. Now in the CDN part, if you are using maxcdn.com, so you can put your enable CDN support and you can put your offsite URL here with the maxcdn URL. So you can check here with the maxcdn. So you write here maxcdn.com. So you can go to the CDN website and you have to register, you have to pay for this, and they have their clear documentation, you can see, and you can get the URL of your CDN URL. That CDN URL you have to put it over here, and rest of the settings would be fine. Like here it is there, so you have to save changes. Now you don't have to do anything over here. So this is done, and then you can check with the website that the loading speed would automatically be increased. And if you want to delete cache for some kind of changes or update of your website, so you can click on this delete cache option in the admin bar of WordPress. Now if you are not having WordPress, then it is the job of your developer who can develop a caching plugin, caching module for your website. This is purely a development job. Now how to check whether my page speed is good or bad? So there are certain tools from where we can check it out. So one tool is called Google Page Speed Checker. So you can check with Google Page Speed. Another one is called gtmetrics.com. So these are the two tools you can use to check your page speed. So we can click on here, page speed insights, and gtmetrix we can also write over here. So we can click on analyze here. So we can analyze here. So it will give you the result, how your website is performing. Now you need to remember here, for caching, what is actually happening for caching. This is called disk cache, then it's called minify HTML JS, then another one is called CSS sprite, then is called image optimization, or you can say lossless compression, you can say lazy loading of images. So you can see in your mobile version of your Facebook, you can see this lazy loading part. Then you can say here gzip compression, then you can say here browser cache. So these are the kind of technical terms used in page caching, and of course a CDN is there, content delivery network. Now you can see page speed core is 82%. This is why slow is another tool that is given by Yahoo. Page speed is given by Google. So Google is showing 82%. Total page load time is like this. There is 91 requests because it's a dynamic site. To complete the page, server needs to send 91 requests. Now you can see the problem areas. So you have to optimize the images here. They're giving you this score and rest of the scores are fine. So from here you can get an idea. You can talk to your developer and get them fixed. Now you can see the page speed score here. So you can also see here how to fix images. So you can see what are the images here. So you can check with this, and the desktop is 64. So again, you have to optimize images and you have to enable compression. So always for page speed, you have to design your web page in a way so that it should not have many images, or if you have images, it should have compressed images with specified height and width of your image. Also, you should use less number of JavaScript files, JS files, less number of inline CSS, so that your code would be optimized and page load time would be reduced. Thank you.